The secret of 10 rich and noble faces. Do you have them? Buddhist teachings. Your face is a mirror to your soul. Its features reflect the journey of your life. But could these features also reveal your future wealth, success, or fortune? Could the answers to your life's path be written in the lines and expressions on your face? In Buddhist teachings, there's a belief that our virtues shape our appearance, and our appearance holds clues to our destiny. What if the signs of a prosperous and noble life are already visible on your face, and you just haven't recognized them yet? In today's video, the journey of wisdom will uncover the 10 distinct features that define those destined for wealth and noble fortune. You may be surprised to find out that you possess one, or even more, of these rich and noble traits. Don't miss this opportunity to discover the hidden potential your face reveals about your life's future. Let's unveil these ancient secrets together and see how they might change your perspective on who you are and where you are headed. Number 1. Phoenix eyes. The concept of phoenix eyes in physiognomy represents much more than a physical characteristic. It embodies the qualities of wisdom, vision, and leadership that transcend mere appearance. Phoenix eyes are often described as long, with a graceful curve resembling a phoenix's wing, their outer corners slightly lifted, projecting an image of subtlety and strength. These eyes are not only aesthetically striking, but also symbolic of someone with great insight and the ability to see beyond the surface. This trait has long been associated with those who possess a deep understanding of the world around them, people who know how to strike a balance between emotion and intellect, and who lead others with clarity and purpose. In this way, phoenix eyes are often connected with natural leadership abilities, as these individuals are thought to have a refined approach to problem-solving, remaining calm and collected, even when faced with difficult situations. As the saying goes, the eyes are the windows to the soul, and this couldn't be truer for those with phoenix eyes, who reflect not only their intellectual depth, but also their emotional intelligence. Throughout history, people have been drawn to individuals with phoenix eyes because of their ability to influence and persuade others. This power does not come from force or manipulation, but from a deep sense of confidence and clarity that allows them to communicate effectively and foster understanding. A person with phoenix eyes doesn't simply tell others what to do. They guide them, inspire them, and create a shared vision that motivates those around them. Such qualities are invaluable in a leader, where the ability to connect with others on both an emotional and intellectual level is key to creating trust and mutual respect. As Lao Tzu once said, "A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, 'We did it ourselves.'" This quote beautifully encapsulates the essence of a person with phoenix eyes. They empower others, making them feel seen and understood, and ultimately leading them to success. However, it is important to recognize that having phoenix eyes, or even possessing the qualities they symbolize, does not guarantee success on its own. While intelligence, charisma, and vision are powerful tools, they must be grounded in integrity and a commitment to ethical action. The phrase, "clear eyes, pure heart," serves as a reminder that wisdom, when disconnected from morality, can lead to short-term gains but long-term failure. Those who misuse their gifts, who use their persuasive abilities for selfish or harmful purposes, often find themselves losing the respect and trust of others. In Buddhist teachings, there is a strong emphasis on right action and intention, which reminds us that true wisdom must always be accompanied by compassion and a pure spirit. Without these, even the sharpest mind and most compelling presence will eventually falter. In modern life, this lesson is more relevant than ever. In a world that values quick results and instant gratification, it's easy to forget that true leadership and wisdom come from patience, self-reflection, and continuous learning. While you may not have the literal phoenix eyes described in ancient texts, the qualities they represent, insight, clarity, and ethical leadership, are something that anyone can cultivate. You don't need to be born with these traits. You can develop them through mindful practice and a commitment to personal growth. Buddha himself said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This profound wisdom reminds us that our ability to lead and influence others comes not from external attributes, but from the way we cultivate our inner world. If you want to develop the kind of vision and wisdom symbolized by phoenix eyes, begin by practicing self-awareness and mindfulness. Learn to listen deeply to others and see the world from different perspectives. Cultivate emotional intelligence and learn to respond with empathy and understanding, rather than reacting out of impulse or ego. It's also essential to engage in continuous learning, to remain curious about the world, and to always strive for greater understanding. As you grow in wisdom, you'll find that others naturally gravitate toward you, trusting your guidance and valuing your insights. In conclusion, the symbolism of phoenix eyes offers a rich metaphor for those who aspire to lead with wisdom and integrity. Whether or not you possess this physical trait is irrelevant. What matters is the cultivation of the qualities it represents. By balancing intellect with emotion, maintaining ethical standards, and continuing to expand your understanding of the world, you can become a leader who inspires and uplifts others. Remember the words of the Dalai Lama: "When you talk, you are only repeating what you already know, but if you listen, you may learn something new." Through listening, learning, and leading with a clear mind and pure heart, you can develop the far-reaching vision and deep wisdom that phoenix eyes represent. Number 2. A broad and bright glabella. The area between your eyebrows, known as the glabella, has long been regarded as a window into one's fortune, wisdom, and leadership abilities in the ancient practice of feng shui. This small yet significant part of your face is thought to be the gateway to prosperity, offering insight into a person's intellect and their ability to shape their destiny. The ancients used to say, "A broad glabella signifies a person of great intellect," meaning those who have a wide, bright glabella are often blessed with a unique fortune. These individuals are not only destined for success in their careers, but are also endowed with the ability to lead others effectively. Think about this. How often do we judge someone based on their outward appearance, not realizing that the energy they radiate might hold deeper significance? A broad glabella is often an indicator of a wise and open-minded person, someone who can see the bigger picture in life and make decisions with clarity and foresight. People with this feature are often able to rise above petty concerns and trivial matters. They are gifted with the ability to think holistically, which allows them to make balanced, fair decisions. In leadership, this is invaluable because it shows an individual who can steer others with a sense of wisdom, calmness, and purpose. The presence of a broad glabella often reflects a person who leads a peaceful and harmonious life, largely because they focus on what truly matters rather than getting bogged down by minor inconveniences or disagreements. This ability to see the broader perspective allows them to forge strong relationships, making them trustworthy friends and inspiring leaders. You might know someone who seems to always know how to rise above the chaos. This may be the wisdom of a broad glabella at work. However, we must remember that external appearances are just one part of the equation. Our ancestors wisely taught us that where there's a will, there's a way, emphasizing that perseverance and determination are the true keys to success. Even if someone has a narrow or darkened glabella, which in Feng Shui can signify mental blockages or difficulties in life, all is not lost. The glabella's condition can be improved, reflecting how a person's mindset and spirit can change. Just as the saying goes, the mind shapes the face. The more open-hearted and positive we become, the more our fortunes can shift. This idea aligns with the deeper spiritual teachings found in Buddhism. We all have the power to change, to broaden our inner selves, and by doing so, we also influence our outer lives. There's a reason why Buddha statues often feature a small red dot on the glabella, known as the urna, or white hair. This isn't just a decorative element. It represents the Buddha's enlightenment and his boundless compassion. In both Buddhism and Feng Shui, the glabella is a critical spiritual point where the mind and body meet, symbolizing the flow of spiritual energy. It is through this point that the wisdom and clarity of the Buddha shine, reminding us that we too can nurture our inner wisdom and compassion. When we think about physiognomy, the study of how facial features reflect a person's character or destiny, the glabella is seen as a marker of fortune and potential. A broad and bright glabella often signifies that the person is destined for great things, a future filled with wisdom, prosperity, and even the ability to attract wealth. If you happen to have a broad, bright glabella, consider yourself fortunate, as this is seen as a golden feature in many cultures. But the lesson here isn't just about looking in the mirror and assessing your facial features. It's about realizing the deeper truth that lies behind this teaching. Our minds and hearts are the true determinants of our future. You have the ability to cultivate wisdom, compassion, and an open heart, which will ultimately reflect in your life, just as a broad glabella reflects wisdom. Even if you don't feel particularly blessed in appearance, understand that your spirit, your mindset, and your daily actions can transform your fate. Just like the Buddha taught, inner growth is the true path to lasting fortune. So, ask yourself, what can you do today to open your heart a little more? How can you think more broadly, rising above the small, everyday concerns that weigh you down? In doing so, you may find that your fortunes begin to shift, not just in the outer world, but in the peace and wisdom you feel within. One ancient Buddhist story captures this beautifully. Once there was a king who wanted to test the wisdom of two monks. He gave each monk a small seed and instructed them to plant it in the royal garden. The first monk, eager to impress, planted the seed and quickly tried to force it to grow by watering it excessively and putting it in direct sunlight. The second monk, however, planted his seed with care, giving it just the right amount of water and sunlight, and allowing it to grow at its own pace. Over time, the second monk's plant thrived, while the first monk's withered. The king asked the first monk what went wrong, and the monk replied, "I was too focused on making it grow quickly and forgot that plants, like wisdom, need time to flourish." The second monk, on the other hand, understood that true wisdom, like a healthy plant, takes time and patience to grow. This story reminds us that wisdom, success, and prosperity don't come from rushing or focusing on trivial matters. They come from nurturing the right mindset, taking things one step at a time, and allowing life to unfold naturally. The lesson is clear. Focus on expanding your inner self, and the external world will follow. So what seeds of wisdom are you planting today? What small steps are you taking to broaden your mind and heart? Number 3. A deep and distinct philtrum. Have you ever noticed that small groove between your nose and your upper lip? It's called the philtrum, and in ancient traditions like Feng Shui and physiognomy, it holds a deeper meaning than just a facial feature. It is seen as a gateway to your destiny, a reflection of your health, longevity, and family happiness. People throughout history have believed that if you possess a deep and distinct philtrum, you are destined for a life of robust health, strong family bonds, and a future filled with stability and peace. But how does this work, and what can it mean for your own life? Let's dive into it together and discover the wisdom behind this idea. In many cultures, especially those influenced by feng shui and the ancient art of face reading, the philtrum is regarded as the path of life. It symbolizes vitality, resilience, and the ability to overcome life's challenges. If someone's philtrum is deep and well-defined, it's believed they are blessed with good health and a long life. Imagine someone who rarely gets sick, someone whose energy seems boundless even as they age. Doesn't that sound appealing? The deeper and clearer this groove, the stronger the person's vitality is believed to be. But it doesn't stop there. It also represents family harmony. Have you ever heard the saying, "When parents live long, their children prosper"? This speaks to the idea that a parent's long life brings fortune and success not just to themselves, but also to their children and future generations. What does this mean for you and your family? Could your health and longevity influence the happiness of your loved ones? Individuals with a deep and distinct philtrum are often seen as having a prosperous and favorable future. These people tend to enjoy strong, supportive family relationships, and they are often surrounded by respect and care from their children as they grow older. Think about that for a moment. Imagine a life where you are not only healthy, but also surrounded by love and respect, with children who look up to you, care for you, and continue to build on the success that you've established. It's not just about physical health, it's about the bonds that tie us to the people we love. Could it be that your philtrum is offering a glimpse into the future of your family's prosperity? But let's not forget an important piece of wisdom passed down through generations. Virtue overcomes fate. No matter what physical features you have, it's your inner character that truly determines your destiny. The Buddhist teachings often remind us of this. The Buddha once said, "Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts." In other words, even if you are blessed with favorable features like a deep philtrum, it's ultimately your ethics, your actions, and your way of living that define the course of your life. So, ask yourself, are you living in a way that aligns with kindness, integrity, and wisdom? Do your actions reflect the life you wish to create? While a distinct philtrum might indicate the potential for good fortune, only a virtuous life can unlock that potential fully. Without goodness in your heart, even the most favorable signs of destiny may fade over time. Now, what if your philtrum isn't deep or well-defined? Should you worry about your future or your family's happiness? Not at all. Just because your physical features may not match ancient ideals, doesn't mean your destiny is sealed. There's another old saying to consider: appearance reflects the heart. This reminds us that our inner world, our thoughts, feelings, and intentions can transform our outer world. When you cultivate a positive mindset, live with love and compassion, and nurture your inner spirit, your outer life naturally begins to reflect this inner beauty. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever noticed how someone with a warm, loving heart seems to glow, no matter what they look like physically? Their kindness shines through, and their life begins to flow more smoothly. Could this be a reminder for us to look within ourselves? How can we start cultivating that inner goodness right now, so our lives, and even our physical appearance, start to reflect the peace and happiness we seek? Ultimately, the story of the philtrum reminds us that while certain physical traits may suggest good fortune or challenges, it is our mindset, our character, and our choices that shape our true destiny. It invites us to look deeper into ourselves and consider how we are living, and how we are treating the people around us. As the Buddha said, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. Could it be that the secret to happiness and success lies not in the lines on our face, but in the spirit we cultivate within? What are you doing today to ensure your inner light burns brightly, illuminating your life with peace, prosperity, and joy? So, the next time you look in the mirror and notice your philtrum, remember that it's more than just a groove on your face. It's a symbol of your potential, a potential that can be fully realized through a life of virtue, love, and positive action. The journey to true happiness and a prosperous future starts within. What steps will you take today to nurture your inner spirit and create the life you desire? Do you believe that the depth of your philtrum could reflect your potential for health, happiness, and family harmony? Comment yes if you think it might, or number 1 if you believe that true destiny is shaped more by your character and actions. Number 4. A forehead with 3 distinct wrinkles. Have you ever heard the saying that our face tells a story? In Buddhism, we often reflect on how our appearance, much like our inner self, can reveal profound wisdom and life experience. This brings us to the fascinating concept of the forehead with 3 distinct wrinkles. In the world of physiognomy, a high forehead adorned with 3 clear lines is seen as a symbol of wisdom, foresight, and calm decision-making. But what do these lines truly represent, and what can they teach us about leading a meaningful life? Imagine these 3 wrinkles as markers of not just age, but life experience. While many might see them as mere signs of aging, in ancient traditions, they symbolize the deep insight of a person who has learned from life. Individuals with these lines on their forehead are often thought to possess extraordinary intelligence, capable of viewing challenges from many angles. This ability to see the bigger picture reflects not only a strong analytical mind, but also a sense of resilience, a calm approach to life's challenges. It's no wonder that people with this facial trait are said to make sound, well-thought-out decisions. Now, let's take a moment to reflect. When faced with a difficult decision, do you find yourself acting impulsively, or do you pause, think deeply, and assess the situation? Those with 3 distinct wrinkles on their foreheads often represent the latter. They embody the wisdom of considering every angle before making choices, avoiding rash actions, and ensuring their decisions are rooted in careful thought. As the Buddha once said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. This saying speaks directly to the wisdom of making calm, mindful choices in life, much like those attributed to people with this special feature. In a world that pushes us to rush, perhaps this reminder to slow down and reflect is more important than ever. What makes these wrinkles even more significant is the sense of life experience they evoke. People with these distinct markings on their forehead are seen as individuals who have learned not only from books, but from the real lived experiences that life throws their way. They carry the wisdom of both study and practice, learning not just by theory, but through the many challenges they've encountered and overcome. Do you ever stop to consider how much of your wisdom has come from personal experience, from mistakes made, lessons learned, and triumphs earned? In this way, the wrinkles are not just physical features. They represent a life rich in understanding and depth, a wisdom far beyond one's years. In Feng Shui, having a broad, high forehead with these 3 lines is also associated with a prosperous future. These individuals are often seen as destined for success, stability, and longevity. And not just longevity in the sense of living long, but in maintaining strong, harmonious relationships and a peaceful life. The respect and trust they earn from others, be it friends, family, or colleagues, comes from their ability to make sound decisions, lead with wisdom, and approach life's challenges with calmness. Have you ever noticed how certain people seem to naturally attract trust and respect? Could it be that their calm and thoughtful approach to life mirrors the traits symbolized by these three wrinkles? Historically, many renowned leaders and scholars were described as having high foreheads marked with clear lines. Figures like King Le Than Tong of Vietnam were known for their profound intelligence and strategic thinking. These leaders were celebrated for their foresight, wisdom, and ability to guide nations through turbulent times. Their physical traits, particularly their foreheads, were seen as signs of their exceptional leadership abilities. In East Asian culture, it was believed that individuals with these traits were gifted by the heavens to lead with clarity and judgment, bringing peace and stability to their people. But even if we don't share these physical traits, we can still embody the wisdom, clarity, and calm decision-making that they symbolize. You see, wisdom is not something fixed. It is not simply bestowed upon us at birth, but is cultivated through continuous learning and self-improvement. Whether or not you have wrinkles on your forehead, what truly matters is your attitude toward life. Are you willing to keep learning, to keep growing, and to keep refining your understanding of the world? As the Buddha wisely taught, with our thoughts, we make the world. This means that intelligence and wisdom are things we can develop over time through mindful reflection and a commitment to personal growth. So, I ask you, how do you approach life's challenges? Do you seek to grow from each experience, to see the wisdom hidden in every hardship? Perhaps the secret of these three wrinkles lies not in the lines themselves, but in what they represent. The dedication to thinking deeply, learning continuously, and living with mindfulness. Whether we have these markings or not, we all have the capacity to cultivate the wisdom they symbolize. As you go about your day, consider how you can embody these traits in your own life by thinking carefully, acting wisely, and continuing to grow step by step along your path. Number 5. A long neck with 3 distinct full creases. Now, we will explore the significance of having a long neck with 3 distinct full creases, a feature that has been revered for centuries in Eastern cultures. While it may seem like a simple physical trait, it holds a powerful and spiritual meaning that transcends mere appearance. Let's dive into why this symbol was seen as such a strong indicator of not only beauty, but also success, grace, and wisdom. In ancient times, those who possessed a long neck with 3 full creases were often viewed with great admiration. It was a sign of nobility, grace, and high spiritual stature. A long neck indicated that the person carried themselves with elegance, moving through life with a certain poise that came from an inner strength. They were seen as people capable of shouldering great responsibilities, not just in their personal lives, but also in their communities. The 3 creases symbolized completeness in one's journey, physical, mental, and spiritual balance. Each crease represented the ability to navigate different dimensions of life and take on roles of leadership and responsibility. So, can you see how a trait like this could be more than just an external characteristic? It's a reflection of someone who is ready to embrace life's challenges, serving as a pillar for others. Moreover, the rounded, full creases on the neck were thought to be a direct sign of good fortune. Those with such features were believed to not only possess the ability to manage wealth and resources, but also to preserve and grow their family's prosperity across generations. Imagine someone in ancient society with this sign of good fortune, confidently managing their household, ensuring that their family's wealth was not only maintained, but flourished. In a way, the long neck with these 3 full creases became an indicator of one's ability to keep life's blessings secure. Now, ask yourself, what qualities do you think are important when it comes to safeguarding not just material wealth, but the well-being and happiness of those you care for? In Buddhist teachings, this question isn't just about wealth. It's about a person's inner virtues, their generosity and their compassion, which are all forms of prosperity. Even in modern times, where standards of beauty have evolved, a long, graceful neck still carries its weight as a symbol of elegance and allure. Think of how often we associate people with a poised and composed demeanor as being naturally confident. A long neck, by this symbolism, suggests someone who is comfortable in their own skin, with a kind of quiet authority that draws others in. In many ways, this is where beauty meets wisdom. Someone with this trait isn't just beautiful on the outside, but has a certain radiance that comes from within. This connection between physical grace and spiritual wisdom is not uncommon in Buddhist stories. For example, one famous tale tells of a young woman named Sujata, who was known for her serene beauty and calm demeanor. Her grace was not just in her appearance, but in her actions. She was the one who offered Buddha his first meal of milk rice after his deep meditation, understanding that true strength comes from inner nourishment. Sujata's grace helped the Buddha realize that enlightenment is a balanced path, much like the long neck with its 3 creases represents balance in life: physical, mental, and spiritual. In today's fast-paced world, having a long neck with 3 creases is often associated with people who exhibit leadership qualities. They are the ones who, in the face of difficulty, remain composed, navigating challenges with wisdom and intelligence. They aren't quick to act out of anger or fear, but maintain a sense of calm that inspires those around them. Think about the leaders in your own life, whether at work, in your community, or even among friends. What qualities do they embody that make you look up to them? Is it their calm under pressure, their ability to make thoughtful decisions, or perhaps their quiet confidence that lets you know everything will be okay? The full long neck with 3 creases symbolizes that very balance, the ability to maintain peace within, even when the world around you is in chaos. Those blessed with this trait often lead lives marked by stability and peace, especially in their later years. The fullness of the neck is also seen as a symbol of good health and vitality, another key aspect of living a long and fulfilling life. As they age, they are thought to reap the rewards of a life well lived, enjoying the fruits of their hard work and maintaining strong family ties. In Buddhist philosophy, this reflects the idea of karma. Our actions today shape the life we will lead tomorrow. A person with this noble trait does not just accumulate material wealth, but also builds lasting legacies of kindness, wisdom, and love, which their descendants carry forward. At the heart of this teaching is a timeless message. Beauty, wealth, and success are not merely external. True prosperity begins within, rooted in qualities like wisdom, grace, and responsibility. So, how can we cultivate these noble characteristics in our own lives? It's not about having a long neck or 3 creases, but about embodying the virtues that they symbolize: grace under pressure, wisdom in action, and the ability to balance the material with the spiritual. By doing so, we too can lead lives filled with purpose, bringing not only wealth but also peace and happiness into the world. Number 6. The fullness of the Sun Mount. Let me share with you the secret behind what is known as the fullness of the Sun Mount, one of the 10 rich and noble faces in Buddhist face reading, also known as physiognomy. This aspect of your face is located just above your eyes, near your temples, and is seen as a powerful symbol of wealth, success, and fame. But what does it truly mean if you have this fullness? And how can you use this knowledge to better understand yourself and the opportunities life offers? Imagine for a moment that this fullness on your face isn't just a random feature, but a meaningful sign, an indicator that you're likely to attract not only personal success, but also the support of influential people around you. This support doesn't just come from nowhere. It's because you possess something magnetic, something that draws the attention and goodwill of those with power, wealth, and status. As an old saying goes, being close to people is better than being close to wealth. Think about that for a moment. It's not always money itself that opens doors, but the relationships you cultivate. People with a full sun mount often know how to navigate relationships with influential individuals, which helps them gain the support needed for their careers and personal ventures. But don't misunderstand, this is not about manipulation or taking advantage of others. It's more about the skill of fostering genuine connections based on mutual respect and understanding. Such people have a natural talent for communication, and they know how to build these bridges in ways that feel effortless to them, but seem magical to others. How do you connect with the people in your life? Do you value relationships in a way that brings not only personal growth, but also opens up new opportunities for you? Moreover, a prominent sun mount is associated with intelligence and creativity. Those who have this feature often find themselves with a sharp, creative mind, which allows them to see opportunities where others may see only challenges. It's not just about being lucky enough to have chances come your way. It's about recognizing them and having the wisdom to seize them at the right time. These individuals are not passive, they are active participants in their destiny. When the doors of opportunity open, they are already prepared, ready to walk through. Does this resonate with you? Can you think of moments in your life when an opportunity appeared, and because you were prepared, you were able to grab it and turn it into success? Of course, we must acknowledge that physical features alone do not determine your fate. As the Buddha taught, you yourself must strive. The Buddhas only point the way. This reminds us that while certain physical traits may be seen as signs of potential success, it is your effort, discipline, and integrity that truly shape your destiny. Even if you are born with favorable features, they mean little without the drive to continuously learn, to work hard, and to stay true to yourself. A full sun mount may suggest you have the potential for success, but it is your perseverance and the choices you make that will turn that potential into reality. Reflect on this. How often do we rely on outward signs, and how often do we rely on our own actions and intentions? In addition to wealth and fame, a full sun mount is believed to represent perseverance and strength. Life's challenges can be tough, but people with this feature have the resilience to face them head-on. They don't shy away from difficulties. Instead, they face them with foresight and wisdom, always planning and preparing for whatever might come their way. They know that success doesn't come easily, and they are willing to put in the necessary work. This resilience is not just about physical endurance, but also emotional and mental stamina. When faced with obstacles, do you have the strength to keep moving forward? Can you see beyond the present moment and stay focused on your long-term goals? Interestingly, the fullness of the sun mount also points to a deep well of creativity and artistic talent. Those with this feature are often drawn to artistic pursuits, whether in the visual arts, music, writing, or other creative fields. This artistic inclination doesn't only bring personal satisfaction, but can also lead to recognition and influence within their chosen field. For example, many artists and thinkers throughout history have been noted not only for their talents, but also for their ability to captivate and inspire others. Creativity, after all, is not just about self-expression. it's also about connection. Are there areas of your life where you feel a strong creative pull? How do you use your creativity to connect with others and perhaps even inspire them? In both ancient times and today, people believe that the fullness of the sun mount carries great significance. It's seen as a mark of those destined for success, wealth, and influence. But remember, as with all things in life, these gifts are not just handed to you. You must cultivate them. The fullness of the sun mount might be a sign of favorable destiny, but it is your actions, your character, and your effort that truly determine the outcome of your life. So, ask yourself, are you willing to work for the success that you seek? How will you use your strengths, both internal and external, to create the life of prosperity and happiness that you deserve? If you've made it this far, you're already unlocking the secrets of the 10 rich and noble faces. Comment "Noble Path" below to show your commitment to these powerful Buddhist teachings. Don't go anywhere. There's much more wisdom ahead that could shape your prosperous future. Stay until the end to discover how these ancient insights can lead you to success and fulfillment. Number 7. A cleft chin. A cleft chin has long been regarded as a mark of distinction, symbolizing qualities like decisiveness, courage, and resilience. Throughout history, those blessed with this facial feature, a distinctive line or indentation in the chin, are often seen as people who can weather life's storms with unyielding resolve. The cleft, whether subtle or more pronounced, lends an air of character and confidence to one's appearance, making these individuals stand out in a crowd. But it is not just appearance that sets them apart. The symbolism tied to the cleft chin runs much deeper, connected to inner strength and the ability to persevere through life's challenges. In ancient wisdom, individuals with cleft chins were believed to possess an inherent drive to push through adversity, embodying the spirit of perseverance. There's an old saying, "Fire tests gold, adversity tests strength," which beautifully captures the essence of these individuals. Just as gold is refined in fire, so too are their inner qualities forged in the trials of life. Those with a cleft chin often have an unrelenting ambition that pushes them forward, undeterred by obstacles, and this relentless drive makes them natural-born leaders. Their ability to make quick, wise decisions is revered, especially in moments of great pressure or when others might falter. In fact, their decisiveness is one of their most respected traits, enabling them to rise above difficult situations with a calm yet firm approach. This confidence naturally attracts others, earning them admiration and respect, and positioning them as influential figures in both their professional and personal circles. Leadership is not merely about commanding authority, it's also about gaining the trust and loyalty of others. Those with cleft chins are often seen as dependable and trustworthy, traits that go hand in hand with their ability to lead effectively. Their strong sense of responsibility ensures that they don't just seek success for themselves, but also uplift those around them. Just as a steady tree provides shelter in a storm, these individuals provide guidance and support in times of uncertainty, making them not just leaders, but beloved ones. A famous Buddhist saying resonates with this idea: if you light a lamp for someone, it will also brighten your own path. Those with cleft chins often illuminate the way for others, and in doing so, they solidify their own prosperity and success. Yet, while physical traits like a cleft chin are often seen as symbols of good fortune, the deeper lesson here is that true success is never simply handed to anyone based on appearance. A cleft chin may be a sign of potential, but it is the relentless spirit, perseverance, and determination to rise above challenges that truly define one's fate. The cleft chin might give the impression of strength, but it is through one's actions, much like the Buddhist teaching of karma, that the true rewards of life are earned. As the saying goes, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. This reminds us that while good fortune may be associated with certain traits, it is always the effort we put into overcoming difficulties that determines our ultimate success. The good fortune often experienced by those with cleft chins is thus not simply due to their physical appearance. It's a reflection of their strong will and determination to keep moving forward, regardless of the obstacles. Whether in their careers or personal lives, these individuals often carve out a path of stability and prosperity, one that is earned through hard work, dedication, and an unwillingness to give up. As they face adversity, their character shines, and in time, they find themselves living lives filled with happiness and success. In today's world, this message is as relevant as ever. The cleft chin may be a symbol of potential, but it's the commitment to perseverance and the strength to keep pushing forward that will ultimately determine the course of one's life. Number 8. A pleasant, deep and clear voice. In face reading, the voice is more than just a way of speaking. It is a window into one's destiny, spirit, and strength of character. Think about the people you've met whose voices immediately capture your attention. Those with a pleasant, deep and clear voice often seem to radiate trustworthiness, wisdom and calm. There is an old saying, "Words are worth their weight in gold," which highlights the power of speech. Not just to communicate thoughts, but to shape one's destiny, to bring fortune, and to uplift both the speaker and listener. A voice that resonates deeply isn't just about tone. It's a reflection of maturity, wisdom, and inner strength. The calmness in their voice seems to tell you they've faced life's storms, learned from them, and are now in control of their journey. People with a deep and resonant voice tend to naturally inspire trust. This is because the calm and confidence in their speech is contagious. It makes others feel safe, reassured, and inclined to listen carefully. Have you ever felt that way around someone who speaks with a certain calm authority? Their words sink in, their advice feels more grounded, and their presence more comforting. This is what's meant by the proverb, "The wise bird sings a calm tune, the wise person speaks softly and kindly." It's not just the words themselves, but how they are delivered that makes all the difference. When someone speaks mindfully, choosing their words with care, they create a ripple effect. Success follows them, peace surrounds them, and people are drawn to their wisdom. Those who speak with a deep and clear voice often show signs of strong mental resilience and a powerful spirit. They can communicate effectively and persuasively, which helps them achieve success not only in their careers, but also in their personal lives. A voice, when it carries clarity and depth, is often linked to strong leadership and influence. It's no coincidence that throughout history, leaders with powerful voices have left lasting impacts on their communities. Ancient wisdom taught that a person's voice was a reflection of their status and character. Someone with a pleasant, deep and clear voice was seen as a person of education and virtue. Such people were thought to possess a natural ability to lead, manage and inspire others. They carried a sense of responsibility not only for what they said, but for how they said it, understanding that words have the power to heal, to motivate, and to build bridges. Let me share a story from the Buddha's life that illustrates the power of words and voice. Once, the Buddha encountered a monk who was harsh and bitter in his speech, often criticizing others. His voice was sharp, filled with frustration, and he created discomfort wherever he went. The Buddha gently advised him, "Words, like arrows, can wound or heal. If you speak from anger, you sow seeds of suffering in others and in yourself. But if you speak with kindness and wisdom, your words will bring peace and comfort to those who hear them. The monk took the Buddha's advice to heart, and over time his voice softened. People began to approach him, not with fear or avoidance, but with respect and admiration, trusting his words because they now came from a place of calm understanding. This transformation illustrates how a mindful, peaceful voice can change not only the way others perceive us, but also how we walk through the world. Now, ask yourself, how do you use your voice? Is it calm, clear, and confident, or does it reflect inner turbulence? Are your words healing or harmful? Just as we strive to improve our thoughts and actions, we can also cultivate the tone and quality of our voice. The voice is a powerful tool that can either lift others up or push them down, and in doing so, it shapes our own destiny as well. A voice that reflects calm and wisdom brings more than just respect. It brings the speaker closer to peace, fulfillment, and a life aligned with higher values. The lesson here is that our voice, much like our thoughts and actions, should be cultivated with care. A deep, pleasant, and clear voice is more than a gift of nature. It is something we can develop by practicing mindfulness in how we speak, paying attention to the tone, intent, and impact of our words. This is the kind of voice that not only leads to success, but also to lasting relationships built on trust, understanding, and respect. So, how will you cultivate your voice? Number 9. Ears higher than the eyebrows. Let's take a moment to reflect on a fascinating aspect of Buddhist wisdom intertwined with the ancient practice of face reading, a way of understanding the human spirit and potential based on physical traits. Have you ever wondered if there is a hidden feature in your appearance that signals intelligence, leadership, and wisdom? Today, we delve into the secret of what it means to have ears positioned higher than the eyebrows, a trait that has been regarded through the ages as a sign of exceptional insight and brilliance. In the realm of face reading, this unique feature is more than just a physical distinction. It carries a profound message. When someone's ears are set higher than their eyebrows, it is often seen as a marker of rare intelligence. Think of it as a natural symbol that points to an extraordinary mind, one that is quick to absorb knowledge, process complex information, and make sharp decisions. It's no coincidence that throughout history, people with this characteristic have been associated with wisdom and high achievement. Ancient sages were known to say, "High ears belong to the wise," a reminder that physical traits can sometimes reflect the depths of a person's capabilities. But is it really about the shape of our face, or does it point to something deeper within? Consider how individuals with ears higher than the eyebrows tend to excel in problem solving. This is no accident. Their intelligence isn't just academic, it's practical and insightful. They are the type of people who can take a step back, observe a situation from all angles, and then come up with solutions that others might overlook. As the saying goes, hear with the ears, see with the eyes. This means that they are adept at both listening carefully and watching the world closely. They have a sharp ability to notice details and connect the dots, which allows them to make thoughtful, well-rounded decisions. Could this ability to listen and observe be one of the keys to their success? Now, let's think about leadership. People with this trait are often seen as natural leaders. Why is that? It's because their ability to process information quickly and accurately gives them an edge in strategic thinking. Leaders aren't just the ones who know the answers. They're the ones who know how to ask the right questions, who see the bigger picture, and who plan not just for today, but for the future. This is a gift that people with high-set ears seem to have. They're visionary thinkers, always a step ahead, preparing for challenges before they arise and guiding their teams towards success. Imagine being able to anticipate what's coming, to understand the path ahead with such clarity. How much easier would it be to navigate life's complexities with such foresight? What's interesting is that this feature isn't just about intelligence or leadership in a traditional sense. It's also tied to respect. People with this trait tend to be well respected, not only for their academic achievements, but for their wisdom and their ability to handle complex, high-pressure situations with grace. Think about how difficult it can be to remain calm and collected in the face of stress. Yet, these individuals often do just that. They maintain their composure, assess the situation, and lead others through it with poise. This ability to remain unshaken, to think clearly under pressure, is one of the reasons why they often rise to prominent positions in their careers and communities. Could this calmness and clarity under pressure be what sets them apart as leaders? But let's take a step back for a moment. What does it really mean to possess such traits? Is it simply a matter of having a physical feature, or does it speak to a deeper quality, an inner wisdom that transcends the shape of our ears or the height of our eyebrows? As the Buddha once said, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. Perhaps this characteristic is not just a reflection of intelligence, but a manifestation of how a person approaches life, with mindfulness, awareness, and the desire to learn from every experience. Isn't it possible that by cultivating these qualities, by listening deeply, observing carefully, and leading with wisdom, we can all tap into that same potential, regardless of our physical features? This brings us to a key question. How do we develop these qualities within ourselves? If wisdom, leadership, and insight are not just gifts we are born with, but skills we can cultivate, then the real secret isn't in our ears, but in our hearts and minds. What steps can you take today to sharpen your listening, deepen your awareness, and become more strategic in your thinking? What can you do to embody the calm and composure that these high-ear individuals seem to possess naturally? As we reflect on these traits, we can also draw on the teachings of the Buddha, who emphasized the importance of wisdom and right understanding on the path to enlightenment. There is no path to wisdom without mindfulness, he taught. So, whether or not you have ears positioned high above your eyebrows, the path to wisdom is open to all of us. By cultivating mindfulness, by listening carefully to others, by observing the world around us with compassion and insight, we can develop the same qualities that lead to success, not just in our careers, but in life itself. Number 10. Thick, black, and shiny hair. In the realms of astrology and feng shui, this type of hair has long been a sign of prosperity and good fortune. But why is it so important? From ancient wisdom, it is said, teeth and hair are the roots of a person, which suggests that our outer appearance, especially our hair, is a reflection not only of our health, but of our destiny as well. Think about this for a moment. When we see someone with a full head of healthy, lustrous hair, doesn't it naturally give an impression of vitality, confidence, and abundance? This connection between appearance and fortune is not merely superficial. It's rooted in both physical vitality and the energy one radiates into the world. Thick, shiny hair is seen as a sign of abundant life energy and robust health, which symbolizes a person's ability to handle life's obstacles with strength and resilience. People with such radiant hair are often perceived as naturally attracting luck and success in their careers and personal lives. This is not just a matter of how they look, but the energy they carry with them. When someone seems to have a vibrant and healthy appearance, it often goes hand in hand with positive life experiences and good relationships, which can open many doors. This is where the ancient saying, "as within, so without," really comes to life. What you cultivate within yourself manifests outwardly. In the context of thick black hair, it represents a deep well of vitality, prosperity, and longevity. It is believed that such individuals experience a long and fulfilling life, where blessings flow freely, health remains strong, and family bonds stay harmonious. They can build a stable career, draw the support of helpful people, and enjoy a prosperous existence. From a feng shui perspective, hair is like an antenna for luck. A head full of thick, shiny hair not only reflects a strong life force, but is also thought to attract benevolent energy from the universe. It's as if one's appearance serves as a beacon, sending out waves of good fortune and prosperity. Could it be that nurturing the health of your body, including your hair, sets the stage for inviting greater harmony and luck into your life? Historically, we see this belief reflected in ancient Eastern courts, where concubines were often depicted with long, flowing black hair. This wasn't merely for aesthetic appeal, but was deeply tied to cultural symbolism and beliefs about health, fortune, and dignity. For them, maintaining their hair was like nurturing a piece of their destiny. But what does this mean for you today? It isn't just about having nice hair. It's about embracing a way of life that values taking care of oneself. A beautiful exterior is only meaningful if it reflects the beauty and strength within. As the proverb reminds us, good wood is better than a good coat of paint. This teaches that while thick, shiny hair might signal good fortune, true luck comes from a combination of inner health, self-care, and cultivating a positive, balanced lifestyle. Now you may wonder, how can we nurture such signs of good fortune? The answer isn't only in outward grooming. It's in choosing a lifestyle that balances body and mind, eating foods that nourish you from the inside out, and practicing habits that promote your overall well-being. Taking care of your hair is a symbolic way to remind yourself of the importance of nurturing your entire being. Remember, the Dalai Lama once said, "Happiness is not something ready-made, it comes from your own actions." Isn't it fascinating to consider that our daily self-care rituals can be reflections of our deeper intentions toward a prosperous life? Moreover, in Eastern cultures, long and shiny black hair has long been associated with femininity, elegance, and grace. It's seen as a representation of gentleness, allure, and an irresistible charm that draws people in. In the past, it was even believed that a woman with beautiful flowing hair possessed a rich inner world, a world full of peace, kindness, and reliability. Such a belief brings up a question for reflection. How does the way we care for our appearance connect with the way we cultivate our inner selves? Can we use these outward practices to express the beauty we strive to nurture within? Maintaining healthy hair is not just about physical beauty. It is a metaphor for our relationship with ourselves and the world. It signifies taking care of our health, managing our stress, eating wisely, and living in harmony with nature. After all, as Buddha once taught, to keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. So the next time you find yourself brushing your hair or taking care of your health, think of it as more than just a routine. Think of it as a way of tuning yourself to attract good fortune, prosperity, and abundance in all aspects of your life. With all this in mind, it's not just about having thick, black, shiny hair. It's about the energy that radiates from a well-cared-for body and soul. How we present ourselves to the world is often a reflection of how we treat ourselves inwardly. So, as you go about your day, taking care of yourself, consider this. Are you nurturing your health and appearance in a way that aligns with the life you want to create? And if not, what changes could you start making today to cultivate that alignment between inner and outer beauty? In essence, The secret of having thick, black and shiny hair isn't solely in the hair itself, but in the care and effort that reflect a person's vitality and approach to life. It symbolizes a well-rounded harmony that leads to prosperity and longevity. So, the real question is, are you willing to put in the effort to align your inner and outer self and invite good fortune into your life? Thank you for joining us in today's video. Before we dive into the next segment, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude to you. It's an honor to have you as part of our growing community. Feel free to share your thoughts or experiences with these teachings in the comments. If you're not sure what to say, simply comment "New on the Path" if you're new here, or "Noble Seeker" if you've been with us for a while. Your participation is deeply appreciated and inspires us to continue sharing these insights. Now, let's continue this journey together. How to achieve wealth according to Buddhism. To achieve prosperity according to Buddhist teachings, it is essential to understand that wealth is not merely material abundance, but also spiritual, intellectual, and moral prosperity. Below are methods based on the teachings of the Buddha to attain true and sustainable prosperity. Number 1. Sowing good deeds to reap good results. In the pursuit of wealth according to Buddhist teachings, one of the core principles is understanding that prosperity is not simply a result of material gain, but a reflection of the seeds we sow through our actions, words, and thoughts. This aligns deeply with the law of karma, where every cause has an effect, and thus, to achieve lasting wealth, one must plant seeds of goodness in all aspects of life. Generosity, or dana, is one such seed, where sharing our resources with others not only provides immediate relief to those in need, but also cultivates long-term blessings that transcend this lifetime. The Buddha once said, "Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened." Happiness never decreases by being shared. In modern life, this can translate into charitable giving, helping a friend in need, or simply offering your time and energy selflessly. The act of generosity enriches not just the receiver, but also the giver, as it fosters a sense of fulfillment and connection to others. Equally important is the observance of moral precepts. In a world where temptations and shortcuts to wealth often lead us astray, adhering to ethical principles is vital. Buddhism teaches us to avoid actions that cause harm, live with honesty, and act with integrity. These principles build a strong foundation of trust and respect, both of which are essential components of lasting success. In the words of the Buddha, "The wise man builds his house on a rock," meaning that a life grounded in moral conduct is stable and unshakable, much like a solid rock. For men in today's fast-paced world, this could mean making business decisions that benefit all parties, or leading with integrity even when it's difficult. Acting ethically is an investment in long-term wealth, as trust and respect from others can open doors that money alone cannot. Additionally, doing good deeds without expecting anything in return is a powerful way to invite prosperity. This aligns with the concept of selfless service, or karma yoga, which teaches that when we act out of kindness, without attachment to the outcome, the universe rewards us in unexpected ways. Helping others not only makes the world a better place, but also aligns us with the natural flow of abundance. By filling our minds and actions with good intentions, we naturally attract positive outcomes. For men today, this could involve helping a colleague succeed, volunteering in the community, or even offering support to someone in a challenging time, knowing that true wealth lies in the relationships we build and the goodwill we foster. In conclusion, achieving wealth through Buddhism is about more than just accumulating material possessions. It's about living a life of generosity, integrity, and kindness. These timeless principles serve as the bedrock for real prosperity, not just in the bank account, but in every aspect of life. In our modern world, where success is often measured by what we have, it's important to remember that true wealth is cultivated by how we live, and by sowing good deeds today, we reap a harvest of abundance tomorrow. Number 2. Avoiding negative karma and accumulating merit. To achieve wealth according to Buddhism, it's important to remember that material success is not just a result of hard work in this life, but is often influenced by the good deeds accumulated in past lives. However, accumulating and sustaining wealth in the present also depends on our ability to steer clear of certain negative actions that can lead to suffering and obstruct prosperity. One of the most significant obstacles is greed. Greed not only causes suffering, but also binds us to the endless pursuit of more without ever feeling content. It creates negative karma that will eventually diminish the very wealth we desire. True prosperity comes from generosity and integrity, sharing what we have and practicing kindness. When we shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, we start to experience more meaningful wealth in our lives. Another major hindrance is anger. Anger clouds our judgment, disrupts our relationships, and creates an environment of hostility that drives prosperity away. Just as a storm disrupts a calm sea, anger stirs trouble within and around us, preventing us from thinking clearly or acting wisely. When you harbor resentment, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer, except it's you who suffers. By learning to let go of anger and practicing patience, you open yourself up to clearer thinking, better decision-making, and more harmonious interactions, all of which contribute to a peaceful and prosperous life. Ignorance, too, is a critical factor that can block our path to wealth. Ignorance here refers to the lack of understanding about how our actions, both positive and negative, shape our future. When we act without wisdom or awareness, we make mistakes that can diminish our blessings. Therefore, educating ourselves, seeking wisdom, and being mindful of the impact of our choices can prevent us from losing the wealth we have accumulated. There's a powerful Buddhist story that highlights these teachings. Once, there was a wealthy merchant who lost all his wealth overnight. He was devastated and full of anger, blaming everyone around him for his misfortune. A wise monk came to him and said, "Wealth is like a garden. You must plant good seeds to reap a bountiful harvest. But you, my friend, planted seeds of greed, anger, and ignorance. Now that your garden is barren, you must learn to plant new seeds of kindness, patience, and wisdom." The merchant, realizing his folly, began practicing generosity, controlling his temper, and seeking knowledge. Over time, not only did his wealth return, but his life became more joyful and peaceful. Think about this. How often do we allow greed, anger, or ignorance to control our actions? And how might our lives change if we replace those with generosity, patience, and wisdom? In Buddhism, wealth is not just measured in material terms, but in the peace and joy we cultivate through our actions. If you want to create lasting prosperity, start by examining your inner garden. What seeds are you planting today? The key lesson is that true wealth in Buddhism is about cultivating good karma through ethical behavior, compassion, and wisdom. By avoiding greed, anger, and ignorance, and by actively practicing generosity, patience, and understanding, we not only attract material wealth, but also spiritual richness, leading to a life of balance, peace, and happiness. Number 3. Living simply and being content with the present. To achieve wealth according to Buddhism, one must first understand that true wealth goes beyond material possessions. It begins with a simple yet profound principle: contentment. The Buddha emphasized the importance of contentment, learning to be satisfied with what you have and not always seeking more. Imagine how much more peaceful life would be if we could feel complete with the resources we already possess, rather than constantly chasing after the next thing. Contentment is knowing what is enough. In a world that constantly tells us that happiness comes from more money, more success, more things, this teaching is a radical and refreshing shift. It teaches us that happiness is not found in the excesses of material wealth, but in appreciating and finding joy in the present moment and what is already within our grasp. Simplicity plays a huge role in this. When we simplify our desires and our lives, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of craving, which often leads to suffering. Have you ever noticed how the more we chase after wealth or possessions, the more we feel burdened by them? The Buddha's teachings remind us that wealth, in its truest form, is not about having an abundance of material goods, but rather about having a peaceful mind and heart. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship, the Buddha once said, underscoring the idea that true wealth lies in things that cannot be measured by money. Living simply and practicing contentment doesn't mean rejecting material success altogether. It's about finding balance. If wealth comes to you through honest and ethical means, that is something to be grateful for. However, it should not be the source of attachment. When we let go of the attachment to material things, we prevent the suffering that comes when those things inevitably change or disappear. The pursuit of wealth, when done mindfully, can lead to generosity and compassion, allowing you to share your abundance with others. After all, isn't the joy of giving one of the highest forms of wealth? The Buddha also taught that wealth should be earned and used in a way that brings benefit to oneself and others. It's not just about accumulating, it's about how wealth is utilized. Are you using your resources to cultivate peace, to help others, to make your life and the lives of those around you better? Or are you constantly worrying about losing what you have, always striving for more? These are important questions to reflect on as you consider your relationship with wealth. In the end, wealth, according to Buddhism, is not measured by the number of things you own, but by the quality of your mind and your ability to live harmoniously with others. So, how can you begin to practice contentment today? What small steps can you take to simplify your life, to find joy in what you already have, and to use your resources for the greater good? Number 4, developing wisdom and compassion. In Buddhism, true prosperity encompasses both wisdom and compassion, two pillars that create a fulfilling and balanced life. Intellectual wealth, wisdom, is one of the most precious forms of prosperity. The Buddha often emphasized the importance of understanding the nature of life, a concept that is as valuable today as it was over 2 millennia ago. In modern times, we can see how wisdom helps us navigate complex situations, make sound decisions, and understand the world around us. Wisdom allows us to look beyond short-term gains and see the bigger picture. In the context of wealth, it is about knowing how to manage not just money, but also relationships, time, and personal resources, leading to a life that is not only materially prosperous, but also peaceful and content. The second essential component of prosperity in Buddhism is compassion. Compassion enables us to use our wealth for the benefit of others, which enriches our lives in ways that money alone cannot. As the Dalai Lama once said, "Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive." This teaching can be directly applied to our pursuit of wealth. When we strive for wealth solely for our own benefit, it can feel hollow. However, when we use our resources, whether it be time, money, or knowledge, to help others, we experience a deeper sense of fulfillment. Compassion helps us break free from selfish desires, fostering a sense of interconnectedness with those around us. In modern society, this can be seen in philanthropic efforts, community involvement, or simply acts of kindness toward those in need. As we give, we realize that true wealth is in giving rather than accumulating, and this creates an abundance that goes beyond material possessions. In Buddhism, wealth is not about how much we own, but how we use what we have. A person who may not have much in terms of money, but is rich in wisdom and compassion, is far wealthier than someone who possesses great material wealth, but lacks these qualities. Buddha's teaching of right livelihood also plays a role here. It reminds us that the way we earn wealth should not harm others, but instead benefit the community and ourselves. Today, as we engage in our work or business, this teaching encourages us to act ethically, ensuring that our pursuit of wealth contributes to the well-being of others. This holistic view of prosperity emphasizes balance, balancing material wealth with intellectual and emotional richness. As Buddha said, health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. In conclusion, true wealth, according to Buddhism, is a harmony of material success, intellectual insight, and compassionate action. When we cultivate wisdom, we make better choices, and when we practice compassion, we enrich the lives of others, which in turn enriches our own. In today's fast-paced, often self-centered world, this teaching is more relevant than ever. Striving for a wealth that includes both material abundance and the wealth of the heart allows us to live a life of true fulfillment and purpose, benefiting not only ourselves, but also the world around us. Thank you for joining us in exploring the ancient wisdom behind the 10 rich and noble faces and how they reveal insights into one's destiny and potential for prosperity. I hope today's teachings have inspired you to reflect not just on the physical traits, but also on the deeper spiritual qualities they symbolize: wisdom, compassion, and ethical leadership. As we've learned, true wealth, according to Buddhism, is not just about material riches, but about cultivating inner virtues that lead to a prosperous and fulfilling life. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom, and make sure to turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos that delve deeper into the timeless teachings of Buddhism. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Stay mindful, stay compassionate, and may your path ahead be filled with peace and prosperity. See you in the next video.